Hello everybody! Welcome to Agashe Review, where I review movies, dramas that you don't want to waste your time watching. I'll give you a synopsis, shorts review along with my thoughts and opinions, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Now let's go into the review. So today I'm going to be doing a review on this Chinese drama called Twisted Fate of Love. I did not know anything about this drama. It just popped up on my feed and I was like kind of iffy on it, but I'm like, hey, let's give it a shot to see how it is. And I'm sucked into it. I'm reviewing the first 2 episodes with you guys, but to be very honest with you guys, I watched 12 episodes already, so that's how into it I am that I watched the first 12 episodes already. But I'm just gonna give you guys the review of it, the beginning of it, and see if you guys like it, so you guys can go ahead and go watch them. But it's a total of 43 episodes. It's currently airing right now, so I'm going to be going over the cast, synopsis, and recap of episode 1 and 2. As for our cast, we have Sung Ying playing Dong Yun or Wing Xing, and then we have Jun Han playing Feng Xing, and then Tang Jian playing Pang Yu or the Third Prince, and then Yu Xing Ying playing Dao Le, and then Liu Qing Yu as Qi Yuan or Ming Shu. And then as for our synopsis, the oldest of friends, the third prince and Minister Feng Xing spent a lifetime caring for each other as brothers. As different from each other as day and night, the two friends were unlikely pair, but their friendship was successful throughout the time. But their lifetime of friendships begins to crumble after meeting the passionate and lovely Dong Yu. A brave general in the Dingyong dynasty, Dong Yu was sent back in time to stop a war that could claim the lives of countless innocents. It was during her travels that she met both Feng Xing and the Third Prince. Though Dong Yu's presence in the Third Prince inspired him to involve himself in political working for his family and all these things like that. Despite him being such a sweet guy, he can never win her heart. On the other hand, Feng Xing, who has this rugged charm, touched Dong Ying's heart in a way she's never experienced before. Though caring for both of the friends, it wasn't her mission to time travel to simply fall in love. There was a war a war that's gonna break out, and she needs to stop it. So with the war is gonna break out due to this evil dude guy during that time, Lu Yuntong, who wants to tear all the nations apart, and Dong Ying must find a way to stop him. But it's not a task for her to accomplish on her own. Only with the help of the Third Prince and Feng Xing's help will she be able to set things right. So with her time traveling back, will she be able to change things that happened previously? So a recap on the first 2 episodes, the drama starts us off with the future. I don't know why I was thinking it's the past. The future, where it's the 22nd year of the Qin rule, and a war has broke out and it's been going on for 7 years. Wing Xing, who is future going to be changed to knowing Dong Yun, she is the last standing going up against Lu Yangtang and his army. She gets defeated and died in the battle, but suddenly she's swimming up like to shore on this lake and pond, and she is carrying this white jade flute, and she doesn't recall any memory, and she puts on some clothes to find out there's a man talking to her where she does not understand what's going on. A bunch of men pops out. She ends up fighting them, confused that she knows martial arts. This man comes out from taking a bath in the water, helps her, and after helping her, he realized she doesn't have any memory. She doesn't even recall her own name. So he calls her Dong Yun, like the holly flowers in his garden or something like that, and he introduces himself as Fengxing and gives her a jade badge where wherever she goes she can go and find him. And so he leaves her as he's ready to go plot the war with Lu Yongtang. Dongyan stands behind and she stays behind, tries to get her flute fixed by this old man, and because every time she tries to blow into it, it doesn't work, and this old man tries to fix it and it blew him away, and he calls that this flute is an immortal monster. Leaving her alone with it, she blows into the flute again and it works, and now it brings her past memory to her. Her name was Wingxing and she traveled back 8 years. She's from the future and she traveled back 8 years before the war broke out. Fengxing was actually planting the war with Lu Yongtang, and the war is ready to break out and Fengxing will get killed. In her past, she's been fighting this war and she hates Fengxing. Now she must stop the war as if, before it happens. And this immortal guy named Ryu gave her the life again to relive, and he's like this immortal god deity, something like that. So what he did was he combined her rebirth body with like the lotus root where she is intact with the flute, and it will be with her and it will call out for her, all these things like that. And every time she gets hurt, she won't die because water heals her, like lotus flowers living in the water. So that's her, and she was brought back to win before the war actually started. So this brings us to the beginning why she was sent and she first appeared in front of Fengxing. Now she has to stop this war. So she makes her way to the Feng mansion to go find Fengxing, and during this time she has grudges against him already because she already recalled partial of her memories, and he realized that he's just like, okay, so you really are a spy then. You act like you didn't know anything when you met me, but you really are a spy. And she tells him the truth that she's from the future and she knows everything. And she tells him the truth and everything, but he doesn't believe her. And he stabs her with a sword and he threw her in the water at night, the lake. And obviously water heals her. She heals. And that night, before he killed her or stabbed her, she tells him that his most trusting friends or person beside him will get killed tonight. And he realized that it is true when his best man or his right hand man got killed, and he realized that she can predict the future, or she knows it or something like that. So he goes back and finds her that she's alive and she's healed, and he's confused and he's like, who are you? Like, I don't believe you, like what's going on, But she escapes from him and she continues to run from him, trying to plan out and plot everything to kill Lu Yongtang. But Fengxing is always there to stop her every time, and he kind of like, he has like two sides to him, where at one point he's evil to her, at one point he's loving to her, and all these things like that. So it's very confusing on his character, but he doesn't fully believe her, or whether she's from the future and trying to stop the war, or what is she trying to do, and who is she, and all stuff like that. But she, like, because she's from the future, she's given the chance to stop this war, and every time she goes through something, she's like, okay, I remember reading, or I remember remembering during this time, this is going to happen, I have to change it. So she does disguise herself as a man and does enter into like this court history something place, and that way she will get closer to higher ups and be able to stop everything from happening. But obviously, with her going through all this, Fengxing always interrupts because he knows her and he knows that she's lying of being a man to, just to get to Lu Yongtang, which we all know he's the guy who's actually plotting all of this and who's plotting all these war and going up against all these things like that. So it is like she knows what happens already, so she time travel back. But the thing is that, like, it kind of hints to you, kind of like how the title is twisted. There's certain thing that is twisted and she doesn't know, and like the whole point is she shouldn't be focusing so much on the war, stopping the war. There's things in there that she missed and she does not recall. So basically her memory is only of the war. It doesn't even give her anything at all. So it kind of like, you know, she doesn't get it why she's drawn to Fengxing. And Fengxing, in a way, he kind of confuses you of like, you know, like I said, he's at one point he's nice as hell to her, another point he's like evil and like, you know, beat her up, put her in jail. You're like, dude, what the hell? But yeah, I watched a lot of it, so I don't want to spoil it with you guys, but it does get better, but it does confuse you. It confuses you, and I've come to the conclusion that he is Uryu, the immortal god deity, and he's the reason why Fengxing, because Fengxing's character, it looks like he doesn't know martial art, but I take it as that he can't fight people because he's actually the immortal guy, and he doesn't have his memories, and she doesn't have it too. She has to gain both their memories for them. She has to get everything. That's why, like, you know, even though she hates him, she's drawn to him, and he's hinted to her that like that flute that you have, even though you say it doesn't work when you blow it or something like that, I hear it. So it tells you he is Uryu or whatever, and like he can hear that flute because when Uryu saved her, he actually was holding on to that flute and he gave it to her. So I have a feeling that his spirits and everything is in there, and she just has to get it out so that Fengxi can recall everything, and that he can actually help her. And honestly, he's not trying to set this war. He's trying to find out who is actually behind all the everything that's killing his family. So his family has died. He's from the main dynasty, his family, and they got killed, and he's like the only one left. So basically the only reason why he's even with Lu Yongtong is he's just trying to get revenge and slowly going through one person to another, just so he can get to the higher up who actually pulled the trigger that killed his family. So that's his purpose, and he doesn't want her to get involved with this, so that's why he's like stopping her. But what is it? We see BAIYANG in here. BAIYANG from Prince of Tennis, and like he's like a general in here, and it's like for the bad guy, and it's like hilarious. I was like watching it like the first two episodes, and he comes out, and I was like, why the hell does this guy look so familiar? And it clicked in my head immediately because of the face he always gives. And so I was like, I rewinded. I was like, Agashe, look, who's this guy? Do you recognize him? And then the moment Agashe saw, Agashe's like, oh shit, that's BAIYANG. And we're like, oh my god, like he's in here, and like you're just laughing because you're like, he could totally fit this role. You know, the character, the general character he plays, damn, he's so fitting for it because of the face he gives and everything on his expression and stuff like that. But it's hilarious to see him in here, and it's just like probably a couple weeks ago we watching Prince of Tennis again, and it's just like hilarious because, you know, obviously I've seen Young in like the Sleepless Princess. He was in there. He was the main guy's brother. And then you see Xiang. I watched a lot of dramas with Xiang in there, and it's like hilarious. We're like, okay, he played this guy, you know. And then obviously watching variety shows of Lucia in there and all things like that. So it's just hilarious to see them again, and when you do not expect them to be playing these type of roles, they're actually in there. But anyways, going off topic here, but that is the recap of the first 2 episodes, and there is a lot more, and like we're just, as right now where it's at episode 12, we're just barely beginning everything, and so the love is just finally starting. Like everything is like setting up for us, and so we're getting to just the start of everything. And like Dongyu, she's like looking at it like, I haven't been able to stop or change anything from happening, you know. So, but in a way, from the trailers and everything, it looks like if she does make some changes, or she doesn't prevent the changes from happening, she's gonna like fade away. It looks like it. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. But I'm really excited, like for me to like watched the first 12 episodes already. I'm so excited for it, but it makes me go, you know, I already watched all of it. I should stop now and let it sit again, and then I'll watch it again. But if you guys have not seen it, do check it out. I really do like it, and I really enjoy it, and I'm really happy I gave it a shot and watched it. But that's it for today's drama review, and I will see you guys in the next drama review.